it's been a very productive day today. Busyness. Okay, so we've got the cake mix in here, and we've got 2 tablespoons of butter in here. Oh yeah! And we've got 2 eggs here. And we've got 2/3 of a cup of milk in here.
Right here. Oh, right here. How is this heat changing? Is this heat changing? I was trying to look for it. I just want to try and find you. How much do you have?
Now it's time for another tale from the land of Pavlova. Jack and the Magic Beans. Once upon a time in the land of Pavlova, there was a lively young boy called Jack. He stayed with his aunt in a bach near the shores of Lamington Bay. Jack's aunt didn't have much money, so they lived off the land and made do with what they could. They had no TV, so Jack would spend a lot of time outside and on the nearby beach.
I need you to pop up to the dairy for me, Jack, and get some milk and today's bread. Take that cow of yours with you for some exercise. Don't spill the change.
Queenie was a very intelligent cow and kept good company with Jack most days. So they set off down the road and along the beach to the dairy at Lamington Bay. As Jack entered the shop, he recognized his old friend Benny from school and went over to catch up with him. He forgot about what his aunt had said and soon found himself trading his bread and milk money for some magic beans that Benny had.
Magic bean? Magic bean? I don't know. I don't know magic bean. Come on, magic bean. Okay, that will be good to me.
They chatted for a while, then Jack took Queenie and headed home.
Now, Queenie, you go home now.
Jack was secretly proud of his trade and hoped Auntie would be happy with him too. Off home they walked.
Auntie, you'll never guess what I've got. What have you got there, boy?
She said.
I traded my old friend Benny and he gave me these beans. Beans? Beans? What do you mean, magic beans?
I never said they were magic.
Oh, you silly boy. What about our milk and bread?
Cried his aunt. She was beside herself.
Look at me, I'm beside myself. That was a bad decision, Jack. Can't you see that?
And she tossed the beans over into the grass.
Ding, ding, ding. Go to your room and think about what you've done.
So she sent him to his room without any tea. Hungry and tired, he lay in his bed thinking about meeting up with Benny again. And eventually, he fell into a deep sleep. When Jack woke, it was morning, and his room was bathed in a strange shadow. What could it be, he wondered, and he got up to look out his bedroom window. He couldn't believe his eyes.
Wow! Auntie! Auntie! Come quickly, look! What is it, Jack?
And they both ran outside to see. Where Jack's auntie had thrown the magic beans, there grew a gigantic beanstalk.
Wow, it's amazing!
He began to climb.
Jack, you come down!
No, Auntie, I want to explore it. Look how high it goes, right up into the clouds. So as Jack climbed up and up, his auntie stood at the bottom and watched until he disappeared.
Oh, no! He's disappeared!
He was tired and hungry, and he pulled himself up to the top and climbed off onto the clouds. They seemed spongy yet firm. Off in the distance, he could see something glittering in the sunlight. "What's that?" he exclaimed as he set off down the path towards it. As Jack got closer, he could see it was a giant castle. He walked right up to the doors, the giant doors, and slipped inside. Jack stood in amazement as he looked around the room. It was a giant's castle, full of giant furniture. Someone's coming. Jack clambers up a giant chair leg and onto an open cupboard for safety. What's that on the floor? He wondered.
Oh, you're joking! That's me shoe! It must have slipped off in the panic. Me shoe!
Just then, a giant woman with a kindly face entered the kitchen room and seemed to be preparing a meal. There she was, cleaning and tidying up. Carefully, and ever so quietly, Jack creeps out of the cupboard. And he heads down the table leg towards the shoe. A giant foot appeared dangerously close to Jack.
What have we here? A little boy? I've heard of such people as you. Let me have a good look. Oh, my name's Jack, and I've climbed up the beanstalk from the land below. I mean no mischief. I have dropped my shoe.
The old lady gives him his shoe and offers him a crumb of bread and some juice in a thimble. Jack eagerly drinks up as he had had no breakfast. All of a sudden, a great stomping could be heard from a distance. Jack gave a worried glance to the large woman.
Quick! Hide in the cupboard! My husband's coming!
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the skin of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he sleep, I'll find his sort and take our keep. Wife, I smell a boy in the house.
Rubbish, dear! Now sit down and eat your dinner!
Jack peered from his hiding place. He was back in the cupboard, his eyes wide open with the scariness of the man-giant.
Wife, bring me gold. I wish to count it.
Jack watched as the giant began counting his gold coins. Was there anything more valuable than gold, he wondered? Jack wished he could have all the gold in the world, and that would surely solve all his problems. The giant slowly nodded off, and as he fell asleep, he began to snore. This is my chance, he thought. And quick as a flash, he jumped out of the cupboard, grabbed a small sack of gold, and slid down the table and ran as fast as he could across the glittering floor.
Thief! Stop! Come back!
Jack kept running and running, and he ran right outside the open door. The giant man awoke from all the racket.
Oh, quick! After him! He's stolen our gold!
Jack ran as fast as his legs could carry him. Down the long winding path to the top of the beanstalk. He could see the giant heading towards him in the distance. He held on tight and slid down the long stalks. Nearly at the bottom, he cried, "Quick, Auntie! Here he comes!" Yelled the giant in a mighty crash as he came tumbling down, crash to the ground. On his back and on his head. He lay still for a while. They thought he was dead. Then he sat up and looked at them. The bump on his head had wiped his memory.
What the? What the? I'm sorry, my good folk. I seem to have landed in your garden. I'll be on my way. My wife's expecting me for dinner.
And with that, the giant left for the hills to return home. Many months passed, and Jack and his auntie paid off many bills with the gold pieces Jack had brought home. They lived a very quiet life. Once again, in peace and contentment, Jack took up fishing in the weekends with his friend Benny.
Hello, fishing Benny.
And they spent many happy hours down at the rocks telling stories and laughing. He soon realized that there was much more valuable treasure than gold, and that his renewed friendship with Benny and being safe at home with Auntie meant more to him than all the gold of the giant's table. And that's the end of another tale from the land of Pavlova.
That's it for today. We've had a fun day. Hope you've enjoyed these activities, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So, chin up. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye.